sure it's gonna run. Starting. Then again, it's probably going. Yeah. We're live. We're good to go.
Alright.
So, welcome to Business Hour Week 2. I think this is 2 weeks further than we made it last year.
Woohoo! I think we're going to just go over the matchup results from last week and, give you all great, excellent feedback on how you played your team. And did we pick up any new sponsors this week?
I think we still have this.
Oh, we still have our original sponsor.
The original.
Beer. It's good. All right, so
sounds good.
Let's just go top to bottom from the. Okay, well, you just really love to punish yourself.
I just want to get it. I just want to get it over with.
All right, so
talk about my matchup and be done with it.
There you go.
What is really awful is through the first half of the first set of games on Sunday, I was projected to be right there with Slimmer. We were both at he was at 264, I was at 258, and I was feeling like I'm within striking distance. And then of course I get the update that Fournette's out.
Yeah.
And
you made it through a couple quarters.
And so shitty because he had 15 points in a quarter and a half, and I was like, oh, he's gonna have a monster game. And then by the end of the first set of games, it was just I knew it was done. And then fucking Doug Baldwin, now he's out.
So, your team was thin to start out with.
Yeah,
you always had Cleveland Browns syndrome. You feel really good about your team in the preseason. You get in a Hard Knocks episode, you start talking about how great it's going to be. Actually, no, you never talk about how great it's going to be.
No.
But then the season starts and you realize, I'm not any good.
I was drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
The first half of the Sunday games, I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was like, you know what? I'm a Michael Crabtree away from being competitive.
You just need one final piece.
And I was like,
championship building piece.
Yeah. I was like, who can I try to trade to get that one piece I need? And now
give away next year. So
I guess what I'm getting at is my team is on the trading block. Minus Leonard Fournette because I bought this jersey.
Don't you own him in every other league?
No, I'm only in 2 leagues this year, and I don't have him in my other league now. But I do. If there's one thing I can say about my team where I stand above just about everybody else is with. I
don't know where you're going with this.
Greg the Leg. Greg's
Ooh, 19 points out of a kicker. You're right. You did beat him in one spot. You got 12 points on top of Dan Carlson.
He outscored my entire offense with the exception of Lockett. and Russell Wilson. And Lockett only had 1.5 points more than he did.
Yep.
So
that's good.
He's the only reason I broke 200 points.
At least that's not the lowest score of the week. We'll get there, but we're not there yet. Let's talk about Slimmer's team for a second. So, James Conner. We got to go first.
Jimmy Conner.
First week pick of the draft. 57 points.
It's awful.
I would have never believed that Le'Veon Bell wouldn't show up. That's a good pick. I wish I would have made it. I wasn't going to for another couple rounds. So, and obviously I don't know how to pick anyway. I didn't use my 5th round pick, and I used my 3rd round pick and regretted it immediately. So. I didn't draft well. I don't have good keepers, and yet somehow I still won. We'll get to me later too. So the other one I want to talk about, because I'm pretty sure I've criticized him because I thought Kenyon Drake should have been kept, but Joe Mixon. Apparently I was wrong there too. However, I have a moral code.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I really don't like. Let me see. What did he do? Oh shoot! I forgot my notes. Here you go. Where? I think we're delayed here. I did prepare today. I've got 2 notes.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna criticize everyone, and I'm gonna remind you that I'm better than you. 2x diamond status. Thank you very much. I'm done today. See you later.
Just saying, here's my notes to show that how much I care right now.
But we're still here for you guys. I did do one more thing. So I wanted to, remind you how great a person Joe Mixon is, since he is on your team. He's your keeper for 4 years. He's the future, the building block of the future of the Slemmers.
Right.
And I always thought that Slemmer was a halfway decent person.
He's not.
I'm wrong. So
he's not even a quarter of a decent person.
As he knows, and I'm sure that he knows, Joe Mixon convicted for beating his girlfriend until her face broke when he was in college.
Yeah, which was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was just a couple years ago, but
he's still a terrible human being.
He's probably paying her some money at this point. I imagine she probably dropped charges or something to allow him to continue to play football.
But she did go on to give birth to a healthy baby boy.
Oh, that's right. That was in the note, wasn't it? That's good. That is a feel good story to end this part. So
good ending, heartwarming.
Based off of Joe Mixon and my misconception of his football abilities and his terrible personal conduct.
Right. It's somebody that I couldn't stomach having on my team.
Yeah, it does. It kind of makes me sick talking about him.
Like,
actually.
40 points, I would feel guilty
with
those 40 points.
I think we'll go ahead and put together an all-convict team so that everyone can realize how bad these players are that are on their team.
Right.
And I'm going to track these players and see if they beat your fantasy team. So, QB1, we'll go back a couple years. Ben Roethlisberger.
The garbage human being.
All sorts of rape,
all sorts
of rape was going on around him. But then all of a sudden he got married and people forgot about it. And I think he got hit by a car at the same point in time. And they
something like that. Wrecked his motorcycle.
But alright, I mean, obviously, it was at least 2 or 3 women, I'm pretty sure, that accused him of rape. And then all of a sudden, that all got wiped under the rug. He was starting again the next year. So he's our QB1. RB1, we're going with Joe Mixon since he apparently can score 40 points in this league.
It's disgusting.
RB2, Jordan Lutz. Adrian Peterson. He just beat his son a little bit.
Gotta get that switch out.
Yeah, he's just trying to make him a good human being for later in life, I guess.
He's got the tiniest head in the world.
His son?
No, Adrian Peterson.
Well, yeah, but that's just because he's jacked up everywhere else, I guess.
It's so weird.
WR1, I think everyone knows who this is. Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Strangling his pregnant girlfriend. Convicted. He was okay with it, I guess.
Yeah, and she went on to give birth to a healthy baby.
Apparently you don't need oxygen
to
give birth to a healthy baby.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go with my team next. No. WR2, Robbie Anderson. But this one's kind of not nearly as significant as the rest of these, but he did threaten a police officer's family. And
it was 3 different occasions, and 2 of them was threatening police officers.
That's true. And I think they were mostly like DUIs.
Yeah, being a drunken idiot.
Yeah. Well, he's about to be suspended, but he's not yet, so he's on our team.
Yeah. And he's on Mary's team, who she asks me all the time, like, has he done anything bad? And some people are gonna be like, yeah, and she's like, oh, I can't like him then.
Yeah.
So she's gonna feel so bad.
How long did she keep him for?
2 years.
All right, she's stuck with him. That's good.
She doesn't know yet. I can't wait till she watches this video.
She's about to find out. All right, so then our flex position, even though he sucked this week, we're going with LaShawn McCoy, who hired someone to beat his girlfriend. Potentially, allegedly. There is no evidence.
He's a classy guy. I mean, beating somebody is beneath him.
That's true. He hires someone else to do it. He has to have somebody else do it. He has had some... I mean, he has earned his shady nickname. He's had all sorts of, random occurrences. There was some... Apparently, he was on hired some woman to coordinate a whole bunch of other women showing up to his house to do something. It was really weird. And then after she coordinated, then she went and spoke to the press about how bad of a person he was for just wanting all these single hot women at his house.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but he does some strange things.
Shady things.
I'm pretty sure he did get in a couple bar fights, but anyway, he might have hired someone to beat his girlfriend. We don't know yet.
Right.
Our tight end is going to be Ricky Seals-Jones for abusing some hotel staff. Yeah, apparently
he pushed a guy in the hall.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
For kicks.
just anger issues.
Right.
Josh Gordon is going to be our flex position just because he loves drugs.
He loves them so much. Drugs. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
He's going to slip up.
Yeah, probably. Now, defense was actually harder. You would think that it would be easy to find defensive players who their job is to hit people. Everyone else, they're trying to avoid getting hit.
Right.
But I guess that maybe that aggression, they don't get it out in time, so then they go and beat their wives.
Yeah. Defensive players get it out on the field.
Yeah. So it was hard, but we did put together something. I don't think that our defensive players are going to win the game. However, we've got Michael Bennett for pushing a paraplegic security worker.
66-year-old.
66-year-old. That's pretty bad. I just don't know where to even put that. But he is still playing.
But wait,
he scores points. He's on the team.
Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Was the paraplegic in a wheelchair and he was pushing the wheelchair?
Maybe he just pushed it a little too hard because he's got such big muscles.
He is a big guy.
Yep. Our defensive back one is Adam Jones for poking a hotel security officer in the eye.
It didn't say what he used to poke him in the eye.
No. I'm going to assume a finger. I don't want to assume anything else.
I don't want to speculate.
Yep. We're going to go for DB2, TJ McDonald. He was just a little drunk and hit a parked car. I mean, I don't know. That's as hard as that's how hard it is to find someone who did something bad on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, the problem is like we had all these guys in mind that was like, oh yeah, that guy, but they were just dirty players on the field. They're not actually terrible human beings.
We're looking at Vontez Burfict.
Yeah, we know.
World eater, if I remember seeing it.
Right.
All right, so for linebacker, we got to go with Nigel Bradham, who will be back this week, punching someone in the nose. He might score some points. And then Reuben Foster, domestic violence and possession of an assault rifle.
Right.
That one's pretty good. However, he's still suspended. Our honorable mention for the stupidest crime.
He'll sit on the bench because he's not good enough to play. But
yeah, but in our league, he might be worth starting. I don't know.
It's
Zay Jones, arrested for having a bloody argument with his brother while naked.
Right.
Why not?
Oh, he broke a window, too.
Yep, that's where the blood came from.
That's why the argument became
He's
bloody.
such a smart player, and he's so good at football. It's a good thing to keep him around. I mean, the Buffalo Bills, they're just a haven for fantasy production.
It's true. You know, with Deion Jones being out, isn't that like 2 Atlanta defensive players that are on the IR now?
Yeah. I want to go for my ACL watch.
If they're all Atlanta defensive backs.
Yeah, just one. I mean, Deion Jones broke his... No, I don't even know what's wrong with him. He did have some sort of surgery. He's on the designated to return list. But
so like week 8.
Keanu Neal, my boy.
Not anymore.
First ACL tear of the year. There's another one. I did see it earlier today, but I forgot it already.
Delaney Walker? Is that what he did?
No, it's not ACL. He's something else. Greg Olsen, no Jordan. Broken foot twice.
Just for injured tight ends.
Oh, good. We're focusing on us for the beginning of this video. We're going to go with my matchup versus the Nightwings. What the fuck does that mean anyway? Am I missing? Is that something?
No, what Nightwing is a
superhero?
Oh, fuck was that?
Who's calling?
I have no clue what that is. Oh, Austin Lee. Hello.
We have a caller into our show.
Hey. Yeah, we have our first caller.
Is he
This is a live caller.
Is he going to explain Nightwings for us?
Yeah. He is. Here, I'll put him on speakerphone. I'll let him explain Nightwings.
I have to turn the audio off on the YouTube because you guys are behind on the live chat.
Yeah, it's a slight delay. That way YouTube can censor us if we pull our dongs out.
I was talking in the chat the whole time and you guys couldn't hear me, so I figured I'd just give it a little call in.
Yeah, I got this other window blocking the chat. Hey, look.
Oh shit, we did forget about Ezekiel Elliott. Man, he's taking over for LaShawn McCoy for sure.
Yeah.
McCoy sucks.
Yeah.
We
Who has a paraplegic? Who has a paraplegic as a security guard? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Did Michael Bennett push his security guard?
Yeah, but Michael Bennett pushed
Man.
the paraplegic security guard.
This is great. Man, I wish we could.
October, I'd like to make a actual in-person guest appearance.
You're welcome
Yeah.
anytime on the show,
Yeah,
buddy.
I mean, as we've demonstrated in the past, we are a very tightly ran show. Production is well done and high quality, and
So
I don't know if we can pencil you in, but we could try.
LaShawn McCoy's moving to the bench,
Sean McCoy to the bench.
and we're putting in Ezekiel Elliott. Thank you for your input. That is a much better.
Yeah.
He didn't show up in the list. We went through a list online to try to find
Right.
convicts. Basically, because we can figure out most of the offensive players, but really it is hard to come up with a defensive player that's bad. Greg Hardy was my first choice, but he don't play
Yeah, he
anymore.
doesn't play anymore. We're doing like fantasy UFC. We'll throw him in there.
So I think we're pretty much. We're gonna have to get a look through this. We're coming up with like a player from everybody's team almost here.
I don't think I have any. My team's not good enough to have convicted players.
Now, for your moral code, at least you picked him before he was convicted.
That's true.
You didn't know what was coming down the line. That makes
Right.
you a better person than Slimmer.
Right. You are a better person than Slimmer.
Oh, of course. Who keeps Jim Mixon as a keeper?
For
Right,
4
4
years.
years. What a bum.
Yeah, just think about how many women's faces he's gonna break between now and 4 years from now.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So before we conclude our first ever call-in viewer, would you like to explain what Nightwings is for the viewing audience and Zone?
Oh, the viewers' audience. So, my team name was basically an evolution. I came into the league as a sidekick, and I figured, as I grew older and more experienced in the league, I had to evolve. So, therefore, we went to the sidekicks, and then that was still a little childish for my liking, so we had to become our own and become the Nightwing, like Robin to Batman, becoming his own superhero.
But what's kind of funny about that is, as you have lost to me once again, it made more sense when you were my sidekick. And now I don't have a sidekick anymore.
Now we're just getting beat up on by Big Whoop. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
true.
It's awful.
Yes, you posted that someone had to beat him. It's definitely not going to be me and you, so.
Yeah.
But thanks for allowing me to make halfway to my projection for the year of 2 wins.
Right.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
I do-
mean, underperforming by 60 points was the plan all along.
Yep, I figured that.
that was my goal going into it also. All right. Well, we do appreciate you watching and for you calling in, and also for freaking me the hell out because I've never taken a Facebook call before. I was like, what the hell is that?
And it's good to know someone's actually watching.
All right, take care, Austin.
See you, buddy.
Enjoy the rest of your business out.
Yeah, you too. Well, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I rather enjoyed the fact that we got a call-in viewer. I would say that we should field phone calls every week from somebody.
Absolutely.
But it's just going to be Austin watching. So it's
Is
just
Chris
be Austin.
on? Is Chris on today? I mean, he's been on every other one.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe Slimmer is on.
Yeah, back to his point, though. We're doing video logs. We have no reason to be doing video logs. We probably should just be doing audio. I can't imagine that anyone's sitting there captively watching our two faces up here on the screen.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Alright. Hey, it's your show,
But-
buddy. I'm just here.
Well, with the video, it pays off because you could show the beer advertisement
Okay.
because we're sponsored and our rights.
Right? Because we're so good at what we do. We're
Um,
sponsored.
So anyway,
Alright, back to the matchup.
yep.
So yeah, I guess it does suck that most of your players didn't project. Of course, you picked way too many Cowboys, and you're not even a Cowboys fan. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, the Cowboys are awful. Like, Dak Prescott is a sad excuse for a quarterback.
Yeah, Elliott still performed somehow, but they did absolutely nothing in
It's
that
'cause
game.
Dak Prescott's their quarterback.
It's true. You did mention that several times until now.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him so much.
Oh, the best part about this matchup, Justin Houston, keeper, always meets his projection. I remember hearing that somewhere.
I do too. 2 years of scoring half a point. That's what you have to look forward to. I'll go on record in saying that Austin, you were less like Nightwing and more like Damian Wayne. And for
The
those of
worst
you,
Wayne's brother.
no, Damian Wayne, Bruce Wayne's son, who became Robin, who was, spoiler alert, later killed, and like thankfully, because God, that kid sucked. Like nobody wants to worry about Bruce Wayne having like joint custody of some bastard child that like is a pain in the ass and gets in
You're
trouble
getting
all
way
the time.
too deep into it.
Like he's just like, Damien, just stay here, everything be all right. And Damien's like,
No, I'm
No,
gonna be a superhero too.
yeah, I'm gonna go fuck shit up. Worst Robin ever. Anyway, you should change your name to fucking Damian Wayne. It's like Robin, but not a good Robin. Like Damian Wayne Robin. Anyway, it was a little too inside baseball.
Yeah, you had to explain it because
But
I had no idea.
I
what you
know.
were talking about.
That was more for Austin.
Yep. So yeah, I'm really happy to have a win because I'm not getting many of them this year.
Yeah, it's one of few.
Yep. It was great. I had 13 points on my running backs. That was great.
Right.
All right, so we're on to Lee brother number 2.
Oh yeah, and just to tie up a loose end here, Austin did say in a message that Justin Houston is up for trade. So anybody wanting to take on the 2-year contract of Justin Houston, hit up Austin.
Good times. Good times.
It's like,
All right.
Like, I wouldn't even take Justin Houston for free because then you're tied down with that contract.
You have to get something really good for it. I will trade you for Justin Houston for like your next first round pick for
Right.
3 years in a row.
You have to.
We're gonna do the Khalil Mack trade, except for a much worse defensive player.
Yeah, you gotta give me a draft pick to take Justin Houston.
Oh man!
All right,
On
so
to Lee brother number 2 versus
Rodney,
the best mascot symbol of the league.
It's so good. It's so good. The Gothic assholes.
Man, his keepers won this game for him. I mean, he picked up Drew Brees, which is great, you know, but
Drew Brees 82 points.
He's just real mad
I will.
because he lost to Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's like, I can't lose to Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I will.
Catch this ball.
Right. I will point out that Jordan and I did a video. We did a live stream on Saturday, and we made a lot of predictions, a lot of bold statements. Unfortunately, some just informed me that like nobody can actually watch the video because it just linked to a dead live stream. So I will post that video to be viewed if anybody is even remotely interested. But one prediction I made in that video that actually happened was that I said Tampa Bay and New Orleans is always a shootout when they play first 2 weeks of the season, and this will be a shootout. And it was.
Yeah, highest scoring game of the week.
I feel
Vindicated.
I feel like
So
affirmation, baby.
How many of those predictions were not right?
That was like 1 of 15. I was like 1 in 15 in predictions. Like it was bad.
It's pretty much accurate for an expert these days too.
We both predicted me to beat Slimmer.
That's just wishful thinking. That's just wishful thinking. I wish you would have beat Slimmer too. I wish everyone beat Slimmer.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
It did not.
All right, so
We'll give you guys some screen time here.
yeah, I think the Gothic Assholes is actually going to be really tough to beat.
He lost to Delaney Walker though.
Yeah, but
Who needs points from a tight end?
well, I was gonna say he lost, and he had Goodwin go
Yeah, that's
out.
not
He
good
didn't even
either.
score any points, and he still scored 320.
He must have a good defense there. 39 points out of Harrison Smith. That's good.
Yeah.
He's got Ryan Grant to put in. Does he have a backup? OJ Howard.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
That'll be all right.
It'll be fine whenever his starting quarterback's putting up 82 points.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much beats me all by itself.
Look at TJ Watt had 56
Oh
and
my
a half points.
That's gotta hurt.
That guy is a beast.
Yeah.
On the bench.
Who did you play instead?
Look at this. Oh,
Khalil Mack crushed it.
Yeah, he did.
So that's C.J. Mosley. I mean, those are supposed to be 2 really good linebackers, so that's probably the right choice. T.J. Watt just crushed it.
It definitely wasn't the right choice, though.
It didn't end up being the right choice. But that's retrospect.
I know.
Who are we to judge? Look at our teams. But we're gonna judge because you're listening to us.
I'm making I'm making a video.
Yeah, that's what. Unfortunately, he's got some players here that Cooper Kupp did pretty good. I mean, overall,
Copper Cup.
Yeah, the Moscow Mule. 271, decent, respectable score. Wins most games. Wins the game against me. But luckily, it doesn't matter because it just matters who you're playing.
Right.
And I played the right lead brother.
Right. Yeah, I think the Gothic Assholes is he's a dark horse to win this league, but this is his year.
Maybe.
I think this is his year.
Yeah, I hope so. You know why I hope so? Because I don't want to.
I don't want to repeat. Yeah, I don't want to repeat champion.
Right.
Another one.
That's what I remember last year. Armchair Quarterbacks had such a good draft, and he had just had a lot of players that
fizzled.
Yeah, this year he didn't get the hot start, but maybe he's got something up his sleeve.
Which Lee brother? Yeah, there we go.
He's the one we criticized the most for his keepers.
I will say. I also, in that video that nobody watched, that Jordan and I did, I predicted Andrew Luck having a bad game.
And he threw it 75 times.
I know.
Anyone who throws it 75 times. Even Matt Stafford, who threw 5 interceptions.
It's so stupid.
He still got 300 yards and scored points somehow.
It's so stupid.
That's what I'm surprised that Cohen, because I watched the Bears-Packers game. I can't believe that he didn't have more than 15 points. But he seemed like he was involved. I guess it was the first half, and they didn't do anything the second half.
I mean, he didn't have any...
It just seemed like they were always talking about him. But I guess he wasn't actually doing anything. I don't know. That's not a bad team. It's better than my team. But they lost, and I'm better than them right now. So,
right.
Here we are. Big whoop.
52 times.
My least favorite addition to the league because I used to be the best team in this division, and now I'm not. By a long shot.
By a long shot. Yeah, you're not even close.
No. I mean, Jared Cook, though. But he's relying on a rapist.
It's true, yeah.
I mean, who does that? I thought he was a nice family man.
Ben, what do you think your son would say to you if he was talking, knowing that you had such a... What does Carrie think about this?
I don't know. Maybe we should bring it up to her.
We should. I'm gonna send her a message, see how she feels about the fact that you are not only willing but probably proud to put in somebody like Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I mean, he is QB1 on the all-convict team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm calling you out, but you're probably not going to watch this video.
No, I guarantee that he will not watch this video.
Alvin Kamara, I said, was going to underperform his. That's another.
Yeah, you are real good at this.
That was way up.
Yeah, that is. I mean, he's going to do that for 4 weeks at least, and then he'll come down to earth a little bit.
Yeah. When
Ingram comes back, but man, that's what his like.
And Jared Cook.
I scored 13 points out of both of my running backs.
59 points.
He scored over 100 from his trio with Coleman and potentially. I don't know what happened to Freeman. He got injured.
It's disgusting.
Man, yeah, but at least Moncrief only scored 3 points. Oh well.
I don't even want to talk about
Hey, look, he got 0 out of Craig Robertson. Man, that's a terrible choice.
Still scored 316. Well, who does he even have backup defense players? No.
Nope. That's a good choice.
Yeah, so
choice.
You made the right call of starting Robertson, who scored 0 points.
Yeah, and then on his bench he's got Deshaun Jackson scoring 41.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Austin, we're not gonna beat this guy, I don't think.
And look at
any given Sunday though.
Look at Dylan deciding to start Josh Doxson over Anua.
Yeah, he put him back in his lineup for. I'm playing him this week.
I'm sure he did. In Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Calvin Ridley should do better than that.
I will say this about Dylan's team, who scored 276 points. Looking at his team going into this game, was going to be surprised if he broke 200.
Yeah.
And he...
Well, Crowell really did well. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders lit it up. I have to play him this week, and, I mean, he had a heck of a better draft than I did. And
fucking Dion Lewis.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
So I'm going to put Henry against Lewis and see who comes out on the top end of that. I don't think that's going to work out very well for me.
No. This is another one. Jordan and I both predicted that Smacked by D's Boys was going to win.
Yeah.
So bringing the chowder brought the chowder.
Yeah, whatever that means.
And we also talked about how bringing the chowder should like change the type of like soup every week. Like like bringing the stew.
Yeah,
You know,
that would be good.
but
That'd be good, yeah.
but nobody watched that videos.
Just like only Austin is watching.
Yeah.
This one.
No, we got 2 viewing. I have no clue who the second person
It's
is.
Chris.
It probably is Slimmer.
I don't know. Slimmer doesn't watch it live. I don't think he comes back. It might be Slimmer.
That might be Slimmer.
I'm going with other Chris.
Oh, Chris Miller. Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
is Chris Miller.
He always comes at the very end once we get to him.
Right.
But
Right.
We
But
don't
we
have-
always wait till the end.
yeah, we always wait to the end. You'd say like we're saving the best for last, but he's 4th best.
Of the division leaders, he's the worst.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, Chris Miller, you're the worst
Never saw
of
that
the
coming.
division leaders.
How could you be the worst after starting with those 5 keepers? You must be really bad at fantasy
Yeah.
football.
I will
Almost as bad as us.
I will say that looking at Mike's team and coming to the realization that, like, Jordan and I both predicted he would win,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got Dak Prescott. I don't know how I ever let that by. Like, I don't know how.
Hey, Dak Prescott, only 5 points away from Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but
He's
he
a
was
good quarterback.
he underperformed by 10 points.
Yeah, it's not good. So you look at so we've criticized bringing the chowder pretty good so far this year for a terrible draft, and you know I think we had him ranked pretty good on keepers because he does have good keepers. But you're not going to have a good draft whenever you give away your first 4 rounds.
Right. Look at that stat line by Josh Gordon. One reception, 1 receiving touchdown, 1 solo tackle.
Receptions, buddy.
What a game.
That is
Difference maker.
And he started.
He did.
They
I
threw-
think, you know what? I think I did pick Josh Gordon to shit the bed. Like, that may have been 2. I was like 2 and 14 on my predictions.
That's not good.
In a video that nobody else watched.
I don't know math very well, but that's not very good.
It's not. No, it's not very good.
But no, bring the chowder. I mean, his keepers are so good that they can carry his team. I mean, Deshaun Watson's going to get better than 31 points. But it's just, you draft in the 5th round and you start picking defensive players. By the time you picked offensive players, you ended up with Antonio Callaway and where's your Mark Andrews? Is that I don't even know if that's his first name. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, and Frank Gore on the bench. Look at all those zeros on his bench.
I mean, and somehow you got a better draft grade than most people.
Look at all those zeros.
Yeah.
But Reuben Foster.
However, I mean, he did pick defensive players first. He picked Rashad Jones, 31 points, probably pretty consistently. So at least he got something right. Maybe.
It's really funny. He sent me a text and told me to draft Ingram, the running back on the Saints, and I was like, dude, he was drafted a long time ago. And he goes, fuck it, just draft Melvin Ingram then. He put him in for the 2.5 points.
Yeah, the defensive players suck.
Right.
Oh, and
I love
Keanu O'Neal, there he is, ACL watch, first victim. Sorry, Mike. Yep. But in the end, though, what's Mike's total score here?
218. So not very good.
Nobody would beat you.
Yeah. Not very good. Better than some,
Not the worst.
but not the worst.
All right, moving on.
He
Who's next?
He barely beat me.
He barely beat you, but he
By a
wasn't
point.
playing you, luckily.
By a point.
How salty
Anyway.
were you then?
No, it's
Just for
We'll
fun.
skip over that one for now.
Okay.
We'll make him wait. Make him wait.
If that is you, Chris, you don't get to hear about your team yet.
Make him wait.
I mean, I know that this commentary is just the best. Oh, we got the barn burner of the week. My Dixie Wrecked versus Tyrannosaurus Flex.
Man, I wish I played either of these teams in week 1.
It may be the rest of the year. I don't know.
So Jimmy has the distinction of being the worst team to win.
Yep.
Tim has the distinction of being the worst team.
Yeah,
I think Tim was the only person to not break 200, I think, right?
Yeah. 190, 150.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
204.
That's the list.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, because Austin just barely squeaked by.
202.
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, his whole team was going to rely on Le'Veon Bell scoring 100 points a game.
How's
And
that
apparently
working out for
he
you?
decided not to show up.
Yeah.
And then, therefore, gives Slemmer the best,
Close.
one of the best teams on here.
Look, Austin even scored less points than Jimmy. Austin would have lost to Jimmy.
Oh.
I'm just gonna rag on Austin because I know he's the only person really actually watching.
Thanks for your participation, Austin.
This is what you get. This is your reward.
But Dixie Wrecked still not good. He got all those draft picks from Chowder.
Yeah.
And turned him into this.
I think I proved last year that having all those draft picks don't help.
True. But the thing is, if you take someone who's better at fantasy football and you put in a bunch of first to fourth round draft picks, you do better.
I'd like you to leave my house, please. Please get out. I'm so grumpy.
I know. It's amusing to me. Aren't you glad I'm your co-host?
So, I will say that Tim had a combined 8 points scored by the 2 tight ends that are his keepers. So,
what was the... Oh, Cameron Brady didn't even play him.
And if you throw in his third tight end that he had a combined 11 points. 3 tight ends, 11 points.
Yeah, and the problem, he's got nowhere, like, he doesn't have a way to go up from here. He got 31 points out of Austin Eckler, which no one would have thought would have happened.
And it's not going to happen again. And Kenny Stills with 35.
He could, I mean, they could score some points. They're not going to score that many points.
Look at this defense.
Oh my gosh.
He had 10 points out of 4 of his 5 defensive players.
It's a total of 2650 out of 5 players. Oh my god, there are people that didn't play that scored 48 by themselves.
Well, it makes you think if he had a defense, like if he had
this week maybe, but that's what Matt Stafford throws 5 interceptions, still scores 34 points. We gotta mess with those interception stats because that shouldn't happen.
That's 4 interceptions.
4. I'm sorry, it's right in front of me. All I know is that he sucked.
Oh, so now the balance of the scoring's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it was
that 5th one would have taken it over. He should go negative for that. We
should make a new scoring change that for next year. If a quarterback has 5 or more turnovers, like Ben Roethlisberger had, then it's an automatic 15-point deduction.
3 picks and 2 fumbles or something.
Something like that. Yeah. And he looked like you look at Ben Roethlisberger in the 4th quarter of that game and in overtime. He looked like he had no interest in being on a football field.
He's done with it.
Like he's already going to start his yearly bitching and moaning of I'm going to retire.
Yeah, that's what I did love that last year because Jordan had him and it was I don't know if I got it anymore.
Well, yeah, he's like I just don't know if I got it. I might hang it up. And then 4 weeks later, they ask him about it, and he's like, I don't know why you reporters are always starting these rumors about me retiring. It's like, you're the one that fucking said it, you don't. Anyway, I could bitch about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, you forgot about that just like you forgot about raping this dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I could bitch about him all night, but instead I bitch about everybody else.
That's what, I mean, the right person won this game. Unfortunately, I think, Tim, you're going to be scoring like 150 points from here on out, and that's like a best case scenario. And I'm going to go ahead and make that prediction today.
150 points or less.
Yeah. So, I think you've reached your peak. I think that Justin is better than you are this year.
I am. I'm not going to be the worst team.
Because even though Fournette went down, you luckily drafted your second best running back, his backup.
TJ Yeldon. Yeah, which is funny because I actually had Yeldon starting, on Sunday morning. I flopped him in. I should have left him in there.
Yeah, he did all
It
right.
wouldn't have made a difference.
No, you wouldn't have won, but...
Yeah. But in our ongoing who scored more points, you're ahead, and that would have been...
Yeah.
That would have gotten me closer. I still say...
30 points is going to be a big deal this year.
I still say I got a chance. I mean, you only outscored me with 24.
Yeah, my running back scored 13 points.
All right. Did we even talk about this game?
Yeah, we did.
Dixie, both teams suck.
Yeah,
this
you
is
guys
a preview.
are terrible.
This is a preview of the Toilet Bowl.
Yep.
Anyway.
I mean, we're going to be in there with them, but
right.
You know what? We're better than this.
We're
better than this.
You know what sucks, though? It's like Tim is going to solidify his, missing the playoffs, but then Le'Veon Bell's going to come back.
And then he's going to win the
And he's
bracket.
going to win the number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
Because of Le'Veon Bell.
But I don't think, at this point, they took him off their depth chart this week. I think that there's going to be at least a timeshare if he does come back. They got to play him if they're going to pay him the $875,000.
That's the thing. When they bring him back, they're gonna fucking run him into the ground.
And then save Connor for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's going to be the best. I can't wait till Slimmer's depressed. That's my favorite thing.
Right.
To see Slimmer not happy.
And you know what? It's going to happen at the right time. Like, Slimmer's going to be
Playoffs.
ready for the playoffs, and he's going to lose his number one running back.
Oh,
Um,
that'll be the best. I can't wait till that happens. That's going to be my favorite part of this
It's going to
year.
be so good. I will say, though, like, Connor was not utilized in the passing game like Le'Veon Bell normally is.
He still caught a couple. We could look it up. It is right here, but we're not going to.
It's so much work.
That gives Slimmer too much credit.
Yeah.
We
won't even talk about it, but I'm gonna
we're gonna look it up.
We're not gonna tell you guys. 5.
You told him. You told him.
No.
Yeah.
No.
5 catches. That is not what Le'Veon Bell would have had 10.
He would have. Le'Veon Bell would have scored 80 points in this
and
game.
they wouldn't have tied the Browns. But instead they did because a fumble of Connor's is what brought the Browns back into the game.
That's true. That was fantastic.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so now we're on to poor Mary.
Look at that picture.
That's a cat.
Stupid.
We're gonna get beat by someone who uses a cat as their
I know.
team mascot.
I told her, I was like, why didn't you make it a tree stump?
Yeah, that would make much more sense. In fact, Stumptown Ales out of Davis, West Virginia, has a perfect tree stump symbol that you can steal. I'm sure that's not plagiarism or anything.
Right,
Just
not
go
at
ahead
all.
and take it. But that's what. So Mary wins the award for most points for a loss.
She's the anti-Jimmy.
Yep.
Like,
she's a better person, and she scored a lot of points.
It's depressing. It's depressing for Mary to know that she outscored Jimmy by 101 points, but he's ranked higher than her by a spot.
Yeah, that probably won't last, but it could.
No.
I mean, because she doesn't have a backup quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers isn't playing this week, so
I don't know.
it says questionable. But did you see how doped up he was after they did a post-game interview and he could hardly talk? Yeah, they really injected him with some stuff to get back into that game, and he won it. So good for them. Michael Thomas, God,
what a
18. What was it? 16 receptions. It's a lot.
Don't tell him.
Oh, that's right. We're just gonna look at it. It's a lot.
Don't tell him.
That is a hell of a game.
16 receptions on 180 yards.
That's a hell of a game. I mean, that's Antonio Brown game right there.
That is.
That's
Antonio Brown.
I mean, that's about the only other receiver. I mean, Julio Jones will do it occasionally, but.
And look at that Saquon Barkley stat line.
Yeah. Well, 68 of those yards came on one run.
I know.
Hey, Derrick Henry could have had that score. He had a 62-yard run called back because of holding on Delaney Walker, who broke his foot too late.
Right.
Or whatever he did.
Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, that's pretty good, too.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Fumble Force, look at that. What a player.
And she had 2 defensive players put up a combined half a point.
How much did she lose by?
That 50.
All right, never mind.
It wouldn't have
mattered.
made a difference.
All right, because we never talk about Cody's team, let's just skip it.
Right, we won't even mention.
No, he could be good in another league. Apparently, he's good here because he's number 1.
Right.
But yeah, fuck that team. Move on. Oh wait, no, we're gonna talk about one player. Our WR1, Tyreek Hill, all convict team.
64.
Let me remind you, he strangled his pregnant girlfriend until she almost died.
And then she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy.
Yeah, so apparently.
Supposedly. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. She dropped the charges, I believe. I don't think he actually had to plead guilty. Now, Mixon had to plead guilty and then move on with his life. I'm pretty sure that she dropped charges so that he could make lots of money.
Probably.
And now he pays her all the time. Yeah.
Well, it's the Ray Rice effect. It's like, well, I'd rather you make a lot of money and pay me a lot of money than to actually have you.
Yeah, Ray Rice would have been a good contender for our team. But we have a stable running backs here. Yeah. We're going to score some points.
Especially with Zeke in there now.
Yeah, I really appreciate that one.
All right. Now, if Chris Miller is watching, we'll finally... we're out of time.
No, we get to talk about him this week because after we've talked up how good this team is...
He's not even the third best.
He's the 4th best. He is the worst division leader
out
there right now. And that just makes me feel so good.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I feel bad because the thing is, he probably he took my first round pick because I gave it to him, and he picked the guy who I probably would have taken, Royce Freeman. I was really excited about him, and then he gets in a timeshare with an undrafted free agent rookie.
I will say, like,
I love that he got Kelsey
numbers.
from me, and he got 2 points. I love that. That made me so
that's
happy.
that's what's scary is I don't see Kelsey scoring just 2 points.
And who knows? Maybe they just decided not to use him anymore. No, it's just, he did drop, or he had a bunch of targets that he just didn't get. I mean, the thing is, this is like the low point of this thing. There is a point that this team will probably score 400 points.
I don't know, because even like David Johnson underperformed.
Yeah.
With 26 points.
Yeah.
He only had 37 rushing yards.
But for now, it doesn't matter what's going to happen later. For now, you're the 4th best team, Chris. Deal with it.
Yep.
You are not likely to win the Super Bowl at this point in time.
There's 3 teams that have a legit chance to or would be favorites.
Yeah, at this point.
This
I mean,
point.
and the thing is, they also had players that underperformed.
Yeah. And Mary against you right now would be a coin flip.
Yeah.
I mean, she had 2 defensive players.
She also had Aaron Rodgers at the time, which she won this week, so.
It's just 1 week.
Yeah, that's true. But that's what I mean. The thing is, you go past his 5 keepers, which, except for Shepard, they only keep him for 1 year. I'm sure he's going to come up with someone better off this team.
I think so.
Look at his bench, though, because there's nothing there, which I had a hard time believing. That's what, when I saw that he was 4th place, I had to look at this.
Yeah, like none of his bench players really did much of anything.
No, he can't move any of these people up.
Bye weeks. He's gonna lose bye. Going on record, Chris Miller missing the playoffs.
No, that's a bold prediction.
That is,
that would make me happy.
Going
That's
on
not
record,
going to happen.
Going on record, Chris Miller is going to not win his division.
Who's that?
No.
You got to look at the
No, his
division
division
first.
sucks.
Okay.
Jordan's the best team in his division, and he just beat him by 50.
Okay. And he had a bad week.
Yeah.
What did he miss his projection by? 20.
25.
Ooh, man.
And Jordan
That's
outperformed his by 0.18.
Oh, poor Jordan. Greg Olsen 2 years in a row. He goes down with a broken foot. He just doesn't have luck with tight ends. He's got to keep like 5, and maybe he'll get one that works.
But Jordan Reed put up 18. At least like Jordan can put in. Oh, never mind. James White. Yeah. Or
Edelman. Does he have a receiver that he's got in the WRT? Yep.
Yeah.
So he can move Conte.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then James White can move in, and then Edelman when he comes back.
So Jordan will be fine.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
For like
he won't be
7th or 8th.
He won't be great because, I mean, you go back up. Jordan Reed played and made 18 points, but what do you think? 3-4 games?
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
He'll be injured, and then he's relying on Adrian Peterson, who put up a hell of a number of points.
What was the name of the tight end before Jordan Reed that loved weed a lot on the Redskins?
Oh man, I can't think of anyone other than Vernon Davis right now, but I don't remember.
Because he was pretty good, and then Jordan Reed came along, and they were like, "Well, we don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore."
Well, the Redskins have been bad for so long. I really haven't paid attention to him.
Because he got suspended a couple times. Anyway, for the viewers out there, who was the tight end? I mean, it's not like I don't have this computer. I could look up.
Wait,
anything.
how many screens do we have here?
I know.
1, 2. I got a phone. You got a phone. There's 4. But no, I mean, so
I don't want to put the work in.
Jordan's team has some potential. He still put up a decent amount of points, and Cooper did nothing, which I feel bad for.
Not Chris Cooley. Get out of here, Austin. It was.
Chris Cooley was a tight end.
Yeah, no, it was between Cooley and Jordan Reed. I feel like, or I'm making shit up.
Cooley, he got in trouble because he was dating all the cheerleaders.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Cooley. That's not who I'm thinking about. Because they had Jordan Reed and a guy at the same time. It was 2 guys. And the other guy loved himself some weed and got suspended a lot.
Didn't love as much as Josh Gordon, though.
No.
Yeah.
Or Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, that's true. And, look, Eric Blunt. I mean, what?
Can we talk about how Le'Veon Bell is fucking over our convict team?
Yeah, damn it. No, but the thing is, we still have a stable. Our running backs are good. We need more terrible wide receivers. We've got a pretty good one in Tyreek Hill. We got
Maybe-
Robbie Anderson, who he's gonna score some points, I guess.
If we keep our fingers crossed, maybe Michael Thomas will beat his girlfriend by the end of the season. In
Most
time for the
likely-
playoffs.
Yeah, most likely gonna happen. But he's sick right now.
I don't think it was Niles Paul.
That is a name,
That is the name.
and that is another tight end. I can't think. Honestly, I paid so little attention to the Redskins. I can't tell you anything
I
else
can't
about them.
either. Just for tight ends.
I'm sure Jordan had him. If our statistician was here,
Yeah, I'm
have to
sure.
go to
Yeah,
sleep.
because Jordan at one point has had possession of every tight end in
Yeah.
the league, other than the good ones.
that's what anyone who's bad he has. If he would have taken Travis Kelce, how mad would he have been right now? Because he would have had 3 tight ends. One of them broke their foot. One of them's going to break their foot. And then Kelce scored 2 points.
It's ridiculous. I'm gonna go back like 6 years.
Harry Fred Davis.
Was it Fred Davis?
I don't know if he loved weed. That's another. You really know your Redskins tight ends, or you're using the.
Oh,
internet.
he's doing what we should have done, and by we I mean me. Fred Davis suspension? Was it Fred Davis? Boom! Tight end Fred Davis has been suspended indefinitely for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy.
Is that PEDs or is that marijuana?
It was a drug.
I mean, if it was PEDs,
marijuana.
he wasn't doing all that well, so he probably shouldn't have been doing those anyway. They weren't helping him.
Back in 2014.
Yeah. It's wild to look
He
at.
Googled it. It was Fred Davis.
It's wild to look at like all these defensive scores, and knowing how early that these players were picked, and then seeing what's available. But I mean, the thing, that's what sucks about defensive players. You just from week to week, you'll blow up and then get nothing.
Yeah, right.
That's why I know why we have to have them. We have too many teams. You got to have.
We gotta have
Extra
some. Well,
sauce, yeah.
It makes it fun.
It does. It makes you pay attention to something you wouldn't pay attention to otherwise.
For me, one of the things I love about having the individual defense players is I can turn on any game at any time, and there's a player on the field that's involved in my fantasy football game.
Gives you something to be interested
Yeah.
in.
Listen to this. In a statement from Fred Davis, I would like to clarify the circumstances that resulted in my current suspension. In the past, I made the mistake of knowingly ingesting a banned substance. For over 2 years, I've worked very hard to eliminate marijuana from my life.
Okay.
And I have not had a positive test for it since 2011.
Way to know that someone had a problem and you had no idea who it was.
Yep.
You just remembered the team name.
What an idiot.
I got one more short segment here.
We can have the convict team, and we could almost make a second team, but more as a memoriam team because most players are retired. We can list out players that just love weed too much, love weed more than football, and throw in like Ricky Williams,
that would be great.
and like Josh Gordon,
And then just put lifetime stats together and see how, base it on average it per year and see how they would have done.
week to week.
Yeah,
That's
because
a
that's what
lot.
I mean. The league's changed so much that wide receivers and even the running backs, your scat backs score so many points. I wonder how a Ricky Williams would stack up against that. I
right.
mean, he was a workhorse. I'm gonna do one more segment, and I'm actually gonna give Justin an award because
What?
yeah,
Is it a shitty award?
no, it's I'm going with the pickup of the week. Let's see if I can find the screen here. There we
You're
go.
killing my bland.
Oh, look, yeah, Bland in the background. It's a
Is
picture of a pickup
it's
that
a
ran
pickup?
over a Ferrari.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that just...
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Pat McAfee at punter. That's great.
That would be great.
You know, Pat
That's-
McAfee has been doing pre-shows for WWE pay-per-views.
Really?
Yeah.
Apparently, well, you told me he gives really good commentary, right?
He's so good, man. I love that guy.
But the reason why you're getting pickup of the week, I got to find your team because I already forgot.
If I bought a Colts jersey for any reason, it would be a Pat McAfee jersey.
Number 1. It was for...
Greg Zuerlein.
It was a defensive player. You picked him up a lot. Ronald Darby. I'm giving you Ronald Darby because he scored 22 points, and I think the person you dropped scored 2. So, pickup of the week because there was only 4 moves, and they were all made by
They were all
me.
you. Yeah.
Next week, I have to dig a little bit to figure out
'Cause
what
people-
that's
yeah,
actually going
people
to be.
are-
I got Austin picking up people at 3:30 in the morning.
Right. To touch on Pat McAfee again, he worked for Barstool Sports, and he just left there. And in his his little press conference he set up his own. First of all, Barstool Sports, internet site, YouTube channel, nobody takes seriously, and he set up a news press conference to announce that he was leaving Barstool Sports, just to be funny, and had a cheap little podium and stuff. And he said, it came to my attention that I'm an adult now, and sometimes you have to make adult decisions, and I got to make this decision to better myself. And now I don't know, he's doing a bunch of other stuff. I love that man.
Yeah. Well, I think to end our segment here the proper way,
Darren Sharp.
Darren Sharper has made the convict team.
He's in the Hall of Fame of the convict team.
And the funny thing, he made it through an entire career, and no one thought, "Oh, Darren Sharp is a bad dude."
No, yeah, everybody loved him.
Yep. But now you have a cat to reminisce about all the times that Darren Sharper, what'd he do?
He raped 17 women.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And he didn't know it was a bad thing to do. He has no remorse.
No, none whatsoever.
Just like this cat, no remorse. Look in her eyes. She has no soul.
He feels like he was wrongly prosecuted. He asked for a mistrial or an appeal because he said that his lawyer didn't properly explain to him that he could potentially spend 15 years in prison for raping 17 women whenever he pled guilty.
Oh,
what an
man.
idiot.
Yeah, he's been hit in the head too many times.
But he used to crush wide receivers.
He was the hardest hitting safety in the league.
Like he crushed women's vaginas.
Because it was unwanted.
That's terrible. I should.
Yeah,
Now that's on.
Yeah, it does sound terrible.
I'm gonna edit that out.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
not how live. That's not how live video.
We're
works.
doing so well too, Justin.
Yeah, we're gonna lose our sponsor.
Go beer!
We're gonna have a new sponsor next week.
Oh well, we're gonna cut the last couple minutes. I think that we should sign off.
I think so too.
See you, Austin.
That's less than 1 year per woman, so not so bad. So what Austin said about Darren Sharp. It's true.
Don't worry, we'll cut that out too, Austin.
As he's doing his thing, he's like, "This is my one for this season." This is awful.
Yeah, this took a dark turn. Let's cut this off, and we'll see you next week.
As we approach our 58th minute, I would like to point out that naming the show The Business Hour was partially meant to be a joke because the plan was to always make 5 to 10 minute videos.
Yeah, and somehow
And
we
now
just
every
rambled
video,
on for an hour.
Every video is an hour. Anyway, until next week, or until Jordan and I make a video in a day or two.